we should learn a primary technique called 5 why analysis, right? So yesterday I introduced you to the concept of problem solving. I said problem solving is dependent on how well we understand and define the problem, which will help us solve, right, the problem in more detail. Okay. And I said we will be starting off with the first step of defining the problem clearly. We will see two tools for that. One is 5i and the related extended tool of 5i, which is root cause analysis, right? So today I want to start with the motivation for why root cause analysis. Okay. Before we start, I will just ask you one simple question. Okay. What will you do if someone comes and raises their hands towards you? கையை எடுத்து கிட்ட கொண்டு வந்தா என்ன பண்ணுவோம் நம்ம? What do we do first? அடிக்கிற மாதிரி கண்ணத்துக்கிட்ட கொண்டு வராங்க யாரோ. What will you do? What will you do? This is a very simple question, guys. You can answer. What will you do? Am I audible? Am I audible? Folks, am I audible? Karthi? Am I audible, Karthi?
Yeah, ma'am.
Am I audible, Karthi?
Yes, ma'am. Audible only, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So, see, when somebody raises their hands towards you, right, you first do one thing. You just, bend down or you put your hands across. நம்ம இந்த சீரியல் எல்லாம் பார்த்திருக்கோம்ல, கையை தூக்கணும்னே இந்த சைடு கையை பிடிப்பாங்க, ரைட்டா? நம்ம பார்த்திருக்கோம், right? So when we think of what do I say, when we think of doing a action, it is always triggered by some cause. So this is what we call as cause and effect relationship. Okay. Cause and effect relationship is the basis for problem solving. Whenever there is an effect, there will also be a intended cause. I mean, there will also be a precursor cause, right? So for example, you drink water when you feel thirsty. You study when there is exam, right? You sleep when you are tired, right? Right. So when you are finding it difficult to manage a situation, only then you feel the need to cry. Okay. Whenever when it is cloudy, then it is probably that it is going to rain, right? Right. So whenever you think of what do I say? Whenever you think of cause and effect, right? I want you all to think that, okay, for every action, there is a reaction. So that is what we call as cause and effect, right? We all know about the famous Titanic story, right? So there is a root cause analysis of Titanic, right? Does anyone know about the Titanic story? The Titanic ship? Yes or no? Anyone who knows the Titanic story? Folks, please respond. Otherwise, I am canceling the classes going forward. This is not, soft skills is not a one-on-one, it's not a one-way lecturing. It requires you to participate to learn. I am very serious. If going forward, if there is no participation, I will call off the classes. Okay, so there was a very big ship which was considered the wonder in those times. It was named Titanic, right? it started off normally on a voyage, but it eventually ended up, sinking and causing a huge disaster and affecting many people's lives, right? So whenever we think of this kind of disasters, also we can learn from these mistakes by analyzing what caused it. Okay, so if I ask you why did the Titanic sink, right? You will tell that it was hit by a iceberg, right? So this is we can say that the iceberg caused the Titanic to sink. This is the outline story, but there is more to this story. This iceberg is not the root cause or the primary cause for the ship to sink. Okay, there are more reasons to it, right? What are those reasons? What is the primary cause of this problem which caused the Titanic to sink, right? So this is what we will learn in today's class. Okay, so the first thing is to understand, right, the tool called 5Y method. Okay, has anyone heard of this tool? Have you heard of 5Y? You heard of 5Y? Yeah, anyone who has heard of 5Y? Folks, please respond. Respond in the chat. You can say yes or no. Can I have some thumbs up or thumbs down? Is there a problem? So I'm just going to continue. So 5Y method is a primary method that will help us to identify the primary cause or the root cause of a problem. Okay. So whenever you say fever to the doctor, it is not that fever is a cause. I mean, it is not directly that fever causes you to have temperature. There are other reasons. It can be because of a flu, or it can be because of a bacterial infection. It can be a viral infection, right? So there are causes and there is a root cause. So at the outset, we might think that something caused the other thing to happen. But in reality, it may not always be true. Okay. Root cause is the primary or the core cause that has resulted in the problem. Why should you identify the root cause? If you identify the root cause, then what will happen is you will get to know, right? You will get to know how to solve the problem. If you solve the root cause, or if you at least reduce the impact of the root cause, right? Then what will happen is you would have created a very good impact solving the problem. That is why we focus on root cause analysis, right? Okay. Now, when we talk of the 5Y method, it is simply involving you to repeatedly question the problem. Okay. So first you have to understand what is the problem, and you have to ask why is that happening. Okay. Mostly in 3 to 5 times. When I say 5Y, 5Y is not written on stone. In some cases, you might find the root cause in 3 Ys. In some cases, you might take up to 7 Ys to find the problem. But on an average, you should be able to find the problem by asking 5. Okay? Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay. So now we will learn how to do the 5Y analysis. Okay. we must ask questions that will give us answer or do deep analysis so that we can identify the root cause. So how do we ask that? Okay. So suppose I have a problem, right? The problem is that I ran through the red light, which means I have done traffic violation. Okay. So now that got me into problem because I had to pay fine and all of that, right? So now I am thinking, why did I get into this problem? Okay, right? Okay. So if I ask, okay, why did I get into this problem? Right? The first thing that might come to my mind was I was late for work. Then I will ask, why did I wake up late? So in that case, I might find another answer, which says uh, I woke up late. Then if I ask, why did I wake up late? I woke up late because my alarm clock did not work or my alarm clock was broken. Right? So why didn't I know that the alarm clock didn't work? Because I did not check. Why did I fail to check? Because I did not do it last. So the last response, the last answer you see, right, is the core problem. You did not prepare for the next day in the previous night. That has caused all the problem in the world. So now, if you make a plan to prepare for the next day in the previous night itself, then you will start getting into this problem, right? So that is why we say that the 5 why method is the most effective method to handle or find the root cause of a problem. Right? Right? Is this clear? I'm not proceeding faster because I want you to acknowledge or let me know if this is clear. Is this clear? Can I have a thumbs up or can I have some indication? Am I clear? Okay, fine. Thank you. Whoever responded, thank you so much. Okay. So now we have another question. Okay, I have a 5 why, right? If I ask 5 why, if I ask 5 why, I will get to the root cause of the problem. Okay. So if I find the root cause of the problem, what is the benefit of oh Sorry, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am.
Sorry, I had a technical issue on my side.
Okay, it's okay, ma'am. It's okay.
Can we continue?
Yes, ma'am. You can continue now.
Okay. So, like I said, the reason why we focus so much on identifying the root cause analysis is that the the idea behind the root cause analysis is not to find fault, right? The idea is to say, okay, I had a problem. I found several small reasons. The core reasons is something different. If you find that core reason, okay, if you are able to find that core reason and answer with clarity, right, about why that problem was caused and how you are going to solve it, right? If you are able to do that, then you are actually doing a problem solving process. Okay. So when we take root cause analysis, I have a couple of examples for how we use 5i, right? Is the basic 5i analysis clear for everybody? Is the basic 5i analysis clear for everyone? Should I elaborate more? Is it clear for now? Please tell me if it is clear. Any questions? Questions? Okay. I cannot see any questions yet. Okay. Any doubts, or should I give more examples? Shall I proceed? Okay. Fine. Right. So now we just discussed about 5i analysis, right? So I'm assuming okay. Syed says clear. Thank you, Syed. So assuming that we are all clear so far, we have a very focused set of steps to identify a problem, like how we identified here. So this, if you identify the primary cause of your problem, right? This forgetting to do the work last night or prepare last night, right? If you attack this, a higher percentage of this problem's impact will start coming down. That is the basic logic, right? Now, coming back to the example. Okay. I don't want this to be a theoretical exercise. I want to give more examples, right? Now, if you take the example of Titanic, which we just saw, we know that people usually say Titanic was hit by a iceberg and then it just broke and sank, right? This is just the outward thing. Okay. So let us try to use the 5i method here. Okay. So use the problem is that the Titanic sank, right? So if I ask you why it sank, right? The ship hit the iceberg. Okay. The story itself says that the iceberg was visible once we went a little nearer, right? So the next question comes is, okay, one, why couldn't I turn the ship from the iceberg, right? The reason being the distance between the ship and the iceberg was very small. They could not identify by the time they identified the iceberg, it was too small, right? Why was it difficult to identify the iceberg? Because the lookouts or the windows in the ship did not have binoculars. Now, that could be one way. Okay, there is no single correct way here. we first learned that there are different ways to solve a problem. Okay, there can be multiple answers for the same problem. Right. So now, what is the second way in which I can think? The ship hit the iceberg. So if I ask why we couldn't turn the ship, then you can say the ship was traveling too fast. Okay, why did it go so fast? Because no iceberg warning was given to the captain. That is another thing. The last thing is, why did the Titanic sink? Because the ship hull was breached. The ship broke because the steel plates were pulled apart. The connecting rivets were not enough. The strength of the ship was not enough. You can take any of these three. All these three are technically correct. Okay, right? Because if we eliminate any of these causes, any of these root causes, the ship would not have sunk. Okay, but the idea is to pick the correct root cause or justify one single cause as the root cause, which will really impact the problem and bring it down. Okay, so if we think of expanding this root cause, right? So the ultimate problem is many people died, right? So the reason being that the ship sank, the ship was filled with water. Because the ship hit the iceberg, the ship could not turn. The ship was going very fast. The captain did not receive any warning, right? So the message about the iceberg was not deemed to be important. No communication, right? Right. So again, the ship could not turn because the iceberg was not identified. There was no binocular. Since there was no binocular, they did not know that the iceberg was there. Right. Another one very simple reason is there were not enough lifeboats. Okay, a ship is going in the sea. It is bound to get into problems. So did we prepare for the disaster? Did we do disaster management? Right. That could also be a reason. Now, we have so many causes that could have resulted in this problem. What is that one sure cause which, if we addressed, this problem would not have happened? That is the question, right? So, how do we find it? Okay. So, this questioning or 5-way analysis will bring out the cause and effect map, which will look more like a root diagram. We call it as a tree diagram or root diagram, or sometimes it is officially called as a fishbone diagram or Ishikawa diagram. Ishikawa is the guy who first formally found a visual representation for the cause and effect analysis, right? So now there can be so many such reasons, so many such generalizations. How deep will you go? The idea is to stop at one point and say, okay, this is the problem. And so I will stop there. This is the root cause that I want to take and handle. Right? There are different tools which will allow you to do root cause analysis effectively. What we saw now is our manual way of doing it. Right? So if you take a formal tool, right? So if I give the problem statement like the Titanic ship sank, and it was hit by a iceberg, and it broke, and it just resulted in the loss of 1,500 lives, right? And a lot of money. Now the basic cost is loss of life and the entire ship. Okay. So which is safety and the ship structure, right? So the ship hit the iceberg, then the ship sank. It resulted in loss of life, which compensated the safety goal of the ship. Okay. So if I expand more, okay, why did the ship sink? Because after the iceberg hit, the steel plates broke and the water filled into the ship. So the ship started sinking, right? So when you think of the steel plate, it could have broken because of two reasons. One, the iceberg caused the hit. The second thing is the strength of the steel was very poor, right? In this way, you keep expanding your cause and effect. So how will I pick the correct cause, correct primary cause for solving a problem? There are two ways to do it. The first way is to go by your gut feeling. Okay. The first way, for example, I am very confident that it is because of the ship structure, the hull, that the water came inside and the ship sank. So I will take only this cause and work on increasing the strength of the hull or design of the hull, whatever. Or I am very confident that the iceberg was not visible because of lack of binocular and the speed of the ship. So I will focus only on which I will pick is based on two things. One, what is your business telling about this? If you are the ship manufacturer, right, you will focus on what is important for your company. If your company says focus on the design challenges first, focus on the hull design. Or if the company says focus on the ship operation, then you will focus on the ship speed or binocular and all of that. So the decision on picking the root cause lies with the business. So how will you select the best solution? The solution that is best is the one which reduces the problem and brings the impact into control. Okay. So the how will I identify this again, and how will I keep how will I understand whether I have done a correct root cause analysis? Is to understand the risk concept. Okay. So how will I fix my problem? By identifying the risk associated with each option. This is why we said once you define the problem clearly, you need to explore all the options you have. So you can explore the options you have, right, by understanding the risk associated, risk and cost, okay, associated with all the options. Okay. Is it clear till now? Is it clear? Any questions? Any questions? Worried because of the silence? This is a new topic, so I need you to indicate how you're understanding. Am I clear? Is it clear till now? Is it clear till now? Okay, no response. Fine. Okay. So I thought of giving an activity, right? I want you to think about some points in your life where you had a problem, but you didn't know what was causing the problem, right? So think of that problem and try to do a 5-way analysis for that. I had a worksheet, but my laptop got into trouble. I'm using a standby laptop now. I'll try to get that worksheet to you if possible, right? So let us think of a problem which we had, okay, and think of identifying the root cause of the problem. You can use 5-by, right? You can use any problem that you have taken. You can use 5-by and try to identify the root cause, because it is a problem that you have already faced. you can check whether you are able to go to the root cause or not. Can we do that? Can we do that? It is 7:16. I'll give you 5 minutes time. Let us try and do that by 7:20. I will try to hear from one volunteer and then we will go. Please start. Make it fast. You have 4 more minutes. Just think of the problem. Ask why did it happen for 5 times. Last minute, 1 more minute. Please try. I need at least one person who have tried. Please try. Okay. Has anyone tried? Were you able to do it? Did anyone try? Did anyone try? Any volunteers? Abdul, Bragadishwari, anyone? Anyone? Okay. You can take this as a homework. You can think simply of a problem that you faced before and try to apply 5i and see if you're able to identify the root cause. Okay. In today's session, we have learned the concept of 5i analysis. We have not done root cause analysis yet. We will do it probably from Monday, because tomorrow I want to revise whatever we did this week. And tomorrow will be exercise day, where you will have only exercises which you will practice, right? We have learned about 5i analysis today. We gave an example of how 5i analysis is used for a hypothetical problem, and we also learned how 5i analysis is important for doing a root cause analysis of your problem. We learned that for all causes there is an effect. So that is why we treat problems as the effect of your primary cause. Okay. That is why we try and find the root cause for every problem before proposing a solution. There can be multiple root causes, but we pick the root cause that is relevant to the business and that has more impact on the problem, or that is more likely to cause the problem, right? This is the concept of root cause analysis and the approach of 5i, right? I'll meet you again tomorrow. We will quickly revise problem solving, whatever we did this week, and we will prepare for the MCQ test on Saturday, right? I thank you so much for your time. Please try to participate. Without participation, these sessions will become useless. Thanks a lot. Karti?